This first image just shows the finished wash of ink with the values from the pencil sketch, and then from there to the pen and ink, so you can kind of see leaving a little bit left over so the watercolor technique of the ink wash can fit in there. And again, as you illustrate these characters, I always keep promoting the initial drawing of the circular shape with the facial features of the egg character drawing in there, and then extending it or extruding it out from that part, and then trying to exaggerate any of the form with the line of action, even the half of the character. Illustrating the hands with the circular form, the geometric shape for the ears type of thing, still coming out in a flap of a rectangular shape and then just rounding it off. The ink just doing a little bit with the outline here, and again you can use some texture and then overlap it with a thicker line, in this case the brush, but if you're using a micron or a Sharpie you can enhance that as well. I'm just giving it the full strength of the ink so it's not really watered down at all. But there's some textural parts. I'm going to leave the highlight out and watercolor that in with the wash of the ink wash. Blending that in. And just erasing the pencil lines and starting in, and again just mixing a little bit of water, ink into the water so you don't dilute your ink if you're doing an ink wash section. And trying to work keeping the wash that you do wet enough to add another value to it so it blends in softer, gives you a softer edge. Builds up the tonal range, and here it's just going back in with solid ink just to hit some of the darker values a little bit. I'm still using that brush for texture. Build that in there. So again, it's a value study with the ink. It makes it a little different than the watercolor, but gives you enough to work from.